Hello, and thank you for joining me today as we discuss Grant Writing 101 for Perkins Competitive Grants. My name is Nicole Joerger, and I am one of the Associate Directors for Career and Technical Education at the Illinois Community College Board. And with that, we will go ahead and get started. So what is a competitive grant? A competitive grant addresses a specified topic, approach, or target population. And in this slide, I'm referring to our FY21 CTE Leadership Grant. So this project had 3 areas that the colleges could choose from if they chose to apply. And that was enhancing student transitions, student-centered support services, and strengthening the CTE educator pipeline. So again, it's addressing a certain topic, approach, or target population. And then a competitive grant is a request for funding for fixed or known periods. For example, the grant that I just referenced, the FY21 CTE Leadership Grant, is a 1.5-year grant and has an allocation range that the college can request from. So this one had a minimum amount of $25,000 and a maximum of $100,000, in which the college was able to specify the amount that they wanted to request based on the project and need that they developed. So where does the CTE competitive grant opportunities come from? And if you look back to our state plan that was recently approved a few months ago, Section 124 of the Perkins Act addresses this. CTE leadership funds are used to support a variety of initiatives and programs that align with Illinois' vision and statewide goals for CTE. So one of those is to expand CTE for students in state institutions. So increasing high quality educational opportunities, to students in state correctional institutions, including juvenile facilities, educational institutions that serve students with disabilities. Leadership funding will support CTE credit-bearing instruction, curriculum development, professional learning, equipment, and instructional supplies. So that's where you see grants such as the CTE Leadership Grant coming into play. So some tips for organization within these applications. Again, this is for competitive grants, but kind of addresses grants as a whole. Familiarize yourself with the grant guidelines and follow them. This is super important. Really just pay attention to what is the grant asking and how can you directly answer those prompts. Allow adequate time to write the proposed application with peer review and revisions incorporated. These grants aren't ones that you want to start a month before the due date. You do want to incorporate ample time to have peer review, to make revisions, to make sure there's accuracy and consistency throughout. And don't assume the reader will understand your community, your program, the project you're planning to develop, which comes with being clear and concise. Activities and objectives need to tie directly back to what is being proposed in the grant. We see sometimes the application getting off track and touching on areas that don't specifically support that grant. So again, being clear and concise and consistent with what the grant is asking. And then I can't express this enough, data. Use this as often as you can when describing the need that you are addressing. It's a lot easier as a reviewer to get a true understanding of what the college is addressing and why when there's concrete data supporting it. And then address equity gaps, and this is another opportunity for data use. Equity gaps is a huge component within Perkins 5, and we're really looking to close those gaps. And with that, data comes into play in an important role. So a few tips continued. Check the application for consistency across all completed sections, including the budget. Align your objectives with the activities and the budget. We see this quite a bit again when reviewing where a college has incorporated an activity that was not addressed in the narrative. So if this grant project and application is focused around nursing and you have equipment or supplies or a salary for someone that is within welding, that isn't necessarily going to fit this project and will be a red flag within that budget when we're reviewing. And then check all budget figures for accuracy. Keep in mind that costs must be reasonable and necessary. Again, reflecting back on what I just said. Check those numbers and then check them again. It's easy to misalign a number here and there and then getting your budget numbers off, which usually can be frustrating as as you have to go back and make those changes at times. And then the biggest thing is to use your resources. Use your internal and external partners and stakeholders, whether that's secondary, colleagues, your business and industry, community-based organizations, etc., and be as intentional as possible when writing these grants by using those partners and stakeholders to leverage all the opportunities that you may have. And questions to consider, and I think you should consider these before even considering writing the grant or being a part of the grant, because you need to have clear and concrete answers to these and knowing, do I need this grant opportunity and will it be effective for us right now? So those questions to consider are, why is it critical to address the problem now? Is it an immediate need? What plans, studies, and data are available to identify or quantify the need that you currently have? How will the defined population be impacted or different when the project is completed? What documented proof or evidence is available to support the need for your project? Who will your project serve? Is it going to serve a special population? Is it going to serve your non-trad students, your adult ed students, bridging those programs together through CTE and adult ed? Who will it serve? And are there any specific circumstances to consider about your defined area or population and the needs that come with it? And then what are your organization's needs? Are they clearly defined, and will they be addressed specifically within that grant application? And our biggest thing, especially with Perkins 5, is to be bold and be innovative, be creative, and make it an opportunity that the college can really thrive off of by being specific, concise, and again, being bold and innovative. So I'll wrap it up with that, but if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. My email is on the screen here. You're welcome to email me anytime, call me at any time, and I'm happy to answer questions. So I thank you for joining me today as we did some grant writing 101 tips, and I hope to see you all soon.